Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutaha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Shute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adigaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We'd like to invite each and every one of you for this most auspicious Shri Krishna Janmashtami festival. Very grateful to each and every one of you for being here in this August gathering and be a part of this very important and very auspicious festival. Today, we're going to be seeing a very beautiful story from Krishna's life, the marriage of Krishna and Rukmini. This is a story that is extremely powerful and very potent at many levels. Because through this story, we are not only going to get access to one of Krishna's most incredible pastimes, but we are also going to learn some very valuable lessons for our own lives. If you all pay attention to the story that we are going to be sharing today, you will go back very rich in knowledge and very rich in understanding of the process of Bhakti. Through the story, I'm going to be sharing with all of you some very powerful insights for life. These insights are not only useful for someone who is a great devotee of Krishna, but someone who has no understanding of Krishna, who Krishna is, and the greatness of and the divinity of Krishna. This story is a very powerful and a very transformative story. I have recently written this book called Undefeatable Krishna, which is about Krishna's life in the Mahabharata, which elaborates the understanding of why Krishna did everything in his life. This story is a small trailer to this book. If you all love this story, I can assure you that you will love the rest of the book. So I'm just kind of giving you all like a small teaser to Undefeatable Krishna in today's session. The story of Krishna and Rukmini is nothing less than a thriller. Because till the last moment, you don't know what is going to happen. That's how exciting this story is. This story essentially teaches us 6 C's. So at the end of the story, all of us will learn 6 C's. And what are these 6 C's? These 6 C's are 6 things that all of us need to learn in our life to experience transformation. Each and every one of us will go through these 6 C's. And through the story of Rukmini, I'm going to be sharing a parallel to our own life. So while I'm telling you Rukmini's story, how Rukmini got married to Krishna, it is actually our own story also. You can conveniently replace the word Rukmini with your name. Whatever your name is. You replace the word Rukmini with your name, it is the story of your life. And no matter what the situation of life is, no matter what stage of life you are in, you will relate with this story. So having given that little background to this story, let me begin the story by telling you all from the beginning how it all started. Rukmini Devi was a princess of a place named Vidarbha. Today, Vidarbha is in Maharashtra, and Rukmini was the daughter of a king named Bhishmaka, and she had a brother whose name was Rukmi. And Rukmi wanted to marry his sister Rukmini to a king named Shishupal, who was the king of the Chedi kingdom. And Rukmini had chosen Krishna as her husband. Rukmi very well knew that Rukmini wanted to marry Krishna, but Rukmi still wanted her to marry Shishupal only. The system of brothers, fathers trying to push their kids and their daughters and their sisters into something they don't want is a very old thing. And look at this guy, Rukmi knows very well Rukmini doesn't want to marry Shishupal, yet because of political alliances, he is pushing her to marry. At that time, Rukmini had a choice. The choice that Rukmini had was to keep quiet and get married to Shishupal. No problems would have happened. She's getting married to a powerful king. It was a very secure kingdom. Everything in her life would have been set. There would have been no disturbance in her family and in her life. But yet, Rukmini wanted something else. Rukmini had heard about Krishna from so many of the Brahmanas who were coming from Dwaraka to Vidarbha. Dwaraka was a very prosperous kingdom, and so was Vidarbha. And because so many Brahmanas and so many merchants would travel from Dwaraka to Vidarbha and Vidarbha to Dwaraka, there was an exchange of information. So Rukmini would constantly hear about Krishna from Dwarkavasis. And the more she heard about Krishna, the more she fell in love with Krishna. She didn't see him. She had not even seen a photograph of Krishna. She had not even seen Krishna in real. She only heard about Krishna. And simply by hearing about Krishna, Rukmini was convinced she only wants to marry him. This was the pre-Instagram era, where she couldn't have seen Krishna in any way. It's not that Krishna was uploading his photos constantly. There were videos of Krishna, reels of Krishna. Nothing. Rukmini had never seen Krishna. She only heard about Krishna and she made up her choice. Association makes a big difference. Whenever you come in the association of devotees and hear about Krishna, you naturally fall in love with him. All of us at this point in time sitting in this august audience, we are doing exactly what Rukmini did years back. The process of falling in love with Krishna is exactly the same. Hear about him, read about him, understand him, and then you fall in love with him. Over a period of time, as Rukmini kept hearing more and more about Krishna, Rukmini felt very inspired to connect with Krishna. Rukmini, she was not an ordinary woman, she was a princess. So naturally, the quality of her research was also very high. She did solid research on who Krishna was. She knew everything about Krishna without ever meeting him. And after knowing Krishna so much, she realized the only person I want to be with is Krishna. All of us, we will all reach a point where we have to make this choice. Choosing Krishna means choosing values, choosing principles, choosing niti. We all make many choices in our life, right? We choose, the kind of clothes we wear. We choose the kind of cars we want to buy. We choose the kind of gadgets we want to use. We choose the place we want to buy our houses. We make many choices in our life. All of us, we go to something known as the choice gym. In this gym, we exercise a particular type of muscle called the choice muscles. So when you go to a gym and you exercise, what do? You push against some heavy weights, isn't it? The more you push and the more you pull heavy weights, more heavier than you can handle, your muscles increase, isn't it? Similarly, we all have many choices in life. We can choose the easy path and we can choose a tough path. When we choose the easy path, our muscles don't become strong. When we push against temptations, when we stay away from the wrong path, that's when our muscles become stronger. The choice muscles become stronger. Choosing Krishna is never an easy thing. When just before the Mahabharata war, Arjun and Duryodhan both came to meet Krishna. And both of them wanted Krishna to join their side. And when Arjun and Duryodhan both came to meet Krishna, Duryodhan came first. He was sitting next to the head of Krishna. Krishna was fast asleep. Arjun came a little later and he sat next to the feet of Krishna. The moment Arjun sat, Krishna sat up and he looked at Arjun. He asked him, "You have come here, I will give you a choice. You can either choose me or you can choose my Narayani Sena. If you choose me, I will be on your side, but I will not fight in the war. I will not lift a single weapon. But if you choose the Narayani Sena, you will get my entire army, the most trained army in the world. Probably today's equivalent of Israeli army." So Krishna had given Arjun that choice. And Arjun chose Krishna without thinking a second, because he realized, if I choose Krishna, I'll get everything along with him. Choosing Krishna means the moment you choose Krishna, a lot of challenges will come in your life. This is the second C that will come in your life. The moment you choose the first C, the moment you make the first choice, the second C comes in your life, which is challenges. If she had chosen Shishupal, there was no problem. There would be no challenges at all. But because she did not choose Shishupal and she chose Gopal, a lot of challenges will come in her life. All of us have the option of either choosing Shishupal or Gopal. Choosing Shishupal means what? In the context of Goa, 2 days back, one of our ministers, he was saying that Goa represents a combination of many S. Sun, sea, sand. There's another S over here. All of this represents Shishupal in our context, in the context of our discussion. So, Shishupal represents temptations in life. And Gopal represents values in life. We all have two options, always. Either we can choose Shishupal or we can choose Gopal. If you choose Shishupal, its life is very easy. But if you choose Gopal, a lot of challenges will come in life. And interestingly, Rukmini chose the path of challenges, which means she chose the path of purification. I don't know how many of you all have sat in front of your washing machines while your clothes are being washed. Have you ever wondered why they make the lid of the washing machine transparent? So that all of you can see inside what is happening. What is happening inside that washing machine is a very important thing for all of us to understand spiritually. There is a big philosophy in that washing machine. I highly recommend all of you all to sit right in front of the washing machine and see the clothes being washed. You know what happens in the washing machine? You put in dirty clothes and then there is water thrown in, there is soap thrown in, and then the machine starts squeezing, beating, all kinds of, washing is going on, isn't it? So much that cloth is being beaten in all directions. And after so much of beating, squeezing, turning around, finally when the cloth comes out, it comes out clean, isn't it? This is exactly what happens to all of us in our life. We are all like this cloth being thrown into the washing machine of this world, and we are all getting beaten up in different directions. GST is beating people up, and then there is all kinds of taxes, there is wars, there are all kinds of natural disasters keep on happening, and then there's a terrorist attack happening. So much of anxiety. People have to pay EMIs and take care of these responsibilities. So much of beating up is happening in our lives, isn't it? The moment you choose Krishna, there will be a lot of purification that will come along with you in your life. Rukmini chose Krishna, and along with the choice of choosing Krishna came challenges in her life. And where did the challenges come? The challenges came from her own family members. Typically, the moment you take up the path of Krishna consciousness, there are 10 people around you asking you, why? What is the hurry? Why are you taking spiritual life seriously now? Many years back, one of our monks joined the monastery, and his uncle came and he was really furious. He said, why is this young boy in his 20s joining the monastery and reading Bhagavad Gita? When he turns 60, that is the time for him to study Gita. So he was like really furious with one of our leaders. So our leader told him, what is your age? He said, I am 60. So he said, you stay back, let him go home. This fellow said, no, let him only stay, I am going. So after 60 also, people don't want to study Gita, isn't it? So it's not that with age, inspiration will come. The moment you take up spiritual life, there will be somebody or the other telling you what is the reason for you to take up. There will be somebody or the other discouraging you, trying to tell you this is not good at all. Suddenly so many well-wishers come and they are very concerned about you, isn't it? The moment you choose Gopal, there will be challenges that will come in your life. When challenges come in your life, those challenges are simply a test of your commitment. This is the third C. Whenever we experience any challenges in our spiritual life, we must know it is a test of our commitment. Every person's commitment shakes at a particular point in life. For somebody who is a Havaldar, 100 rupees might shake his loyalty. For somebody who is an inspector, probably 1,000 rupees may shake his loyalty. For somebody who is a very senior person, a few lakh rupees may shake his loyalty. For somebody who is in a very high governmental position, maybe a few crores may shake his loyalty. Each one of us, our loyalty to the path we have chosen shakes at a particular point. We all get tempted at a particular point to give up our commitment towards what we are really committed towards. Each one of us have some temptation that makes us break our promises, makes us break our commitments to whatever we are committed towards. That test of commitment is a very important test that each one of us have to pass. Rukmini Devi chose Krishna, and the moment she chose Krishna, so many challenges came in her life. And one of the biggest challenges was that she had to get married to Shishupal in a few days' time. She hardly had any time, and she had to show her commitment. In the Ramayana, we find Mother Sita, she was thrown in Lanka. And in Lanka, she was surrounded by 700 Rakshasis, who were one-eyed and one-eared monsters. And all those 700 Rakshasis kept telling her only one thing: Ram doesn't exist, only Ravan exists. Get married to him. They were constantly testing her commitment. And Ravan had told those 700 monsters, imagine, first of all, being surrounded by 700 one-eyed, one-eared monsters. How terrible it will be, isn't it? For Sita to, be strong in such an atmosphere. Ravan knew psychology quite a bit. And he knew how to disturb a person very much. How to shake the commitment of a person very much. He offered her so much wealth in Lanka. He offered her to be the chief queen of Lanka. He offered her so many temptations simply to test her commitment. And through the entire 10 months that Sita was in Lanka, her commitment, her mind did not waver for one moment. That is a test of commitment. In spite of all the challenges that Rukmini was facing, her commitment to Krishna did not waver for one moment. And she decided that if I want to show my commitment to Krishna, I need to take up the fourth C, which is connection. So Rukmini Devi decided that she will send Krishna a letter. And she wanted to convey that letter, send that letter to Krishna through a very trusted Brahman. Rukmini Devi wrote her heart in a letter. This probably was the first love letter in history of mankind. And this is a love letter that a woman is writing to her man. And she wrote this letter in golden letters, beautiful handwriting, and she expressed her heart with chosen words. And she gave this letter to this Brahman whom she trusted a lot. This Brahman represents a spiritual master, Guru. All of us, we want to marry Krishna, we want to connect with Krishna, we want to be spiritually united with Krishna, and we all send our message to Krishna through a Guru, the spiritual master. The role of the spiritual master is to unite a disciple with God. And obviously, if you want to send a message to Krishna, you can't send a message directly. You don't have his WhatsApp number anyways. You don't have his email ID anyways. So the way the spiritual master helps you is by conveying your message to Krishna. And Rukmini Devi told this Brahman, please keep this letter confidential and go and give this letter only to Krishna. Nobody else should see this letter. This Brahman took the letter from Rukmini Devi and went straight to Dwaraka. And when he reached Dwaraka, he was allowed to enter into the deepest chambers of Krishna's palace. In Dwaraka, the policy was that no Brahman would ever be stopped. If any Brahman came to Dwaraka, they could enter any room of any palace in Dwaraka without being stopped at all. This Brahman went to the private chamber of Krishna and gave this letter to him. When Krishna heard that this letter came from Rukmini from Vidarbha, Krishna told this Brahman, please read it loudly. Have you ever heard a love letter being read loudly? Would anybody read love letter loudly? It's too embarrassing to read a love letter loudly, right? But here, the love affair between Rukmini and Krishna, the love affair between a devotee and Krishna is not a private affair, it's a public affair. You don't have to be ashamed to admit your love for Krishna. You don't have to be ashamed to say, I love Krishna. You don't have to be ashamed to write a private letter to Krishna which is being read out publicly. All prayers that great devotees are writing, whether it is Mirabai, whether it is Rupa Goswami, whether it is Sanatan Goswami, whether it is Tukaram Maharaj, whether it is Kabir Das, any great devotee of the Lord who is writing a letter to Krishna, it's not a private affair. Anybody can read it. And anyone who reads that letter, they'll feel inspired. Rukmini Devi's letter was so inspiring. This Brahmana was hesitating in the beginning, and then Krishna told him, read it loudly. And then this Brahmana read loudly the letter of Rukmini Devi. And as this Brahmana read this letter written by Rukmini to Krishna, he had tears in his eyes. Krishna had tears in his eyes because he had never heard anyone express their love so deeply towards him. And that very moment, Krishna decided, I'm going to marry her. Krishna reciprocates in the way you want him to reciprocate. Ye yatamam prapadyante stam sataiva bhajamyaham. Krishna says in the Gita, the way you approach me, I approach you accordingly. If you treat him like stone, he will act like a stone for you. There are a lot of people who go to temples and they see the deity of the Lord and they think this is a stone. And that's exactly what they experience. They experience a stone there. And there are people, when they go to a temple and they actually experience Krishna talking to them, reciprocating with them, because that's the way they are seeing him. The way we approach Krishna, he reciprocates that with us in that exact same way. When Krishna saw the love that Rukmini had towards him, his heart melted. And he realized, this girl is special. And he really connected with Rukmini through those words. Prayers are a very powerful and potent form of connecting us with God. A lot of people think prayers are something very superficial. But prayers are very powerful. There are so many great personalities who have connected with God through the medium of prayers. If you look at the Abhangas of Tukaram Maharaj, they are so fascinating. Each one of those Abhangas are nothing but his heartfelt prayers towards the Lord. And those Abhangas are simply his meditation on Krishna. So whenever a devotee meditates on the Lord and then speaks, whatever comes out from his mouth is beautiful prayers. Each one of us can have our own unique way of praying to Krishna, unique way of connecting with Krishna through the medium of prayers. And if you don't know any prayers, and if you don't know how to write prayers, and if you don't know how to speak to Krishna with your heart, you can simply offer the prayers of great acharyas. When you sing their prayers, it is as good as praying. So when Krishna decided that he is going to marry Rukmini, he got to know that the marriage of Rukmini with Shishupal is scheduled the next day morning. Now, Krishna was in Dwarka. Dwarka is in Gujarat. And Rukmini Devi was in Vidarbha, in the middle of Maharashtra. And the question was, how would he cover such a distance? In those days, there were no flights. In those days, there were no other means of travel. So Krishna told his chariot driver, Daruk, to get his chariot ready. And he told this Brahman, please be rest assured, we will reach by tomorrow morning. And Krishna and this Brahman immediately left to Vidarbha from Dwarka. When Krishna left to Vidarbha from Dwarka, in the meanwhile, in Vidarbha, Rukmini was in great anxiety. She was in great anxiety because it was already morning and her marriage was going to happen in a few hours' time. Literally in a few hours, she was going to get married to Shishupal. And she had no idea where Krishna was. She had no idea if Krishna was coming. She had no idea if this Brahman had gone and met Krishna or not. She was completely clueless. And Rukmini's heart was pounding. She was in great anxiety because in a short duration of time, her life would be finished. At that time, she went to the temple of Durga Devi. And she began to pray very intensely to Durga. And her only prayer was, "My dear mother, please unite me with Krishna." That was the only prayer she offered. And after praying very intensely, she came out of that palace, of the temple. So this situation was a very tense situation for Rukmini, because she didn't know what is going to happen now. When she came out of the temple, she was standing on the stairs of the temple, and in front of her, thousands of people were assembled. Many of them were great kings, Jarasandha, Shishupal, so many powerful personalities, Poundrak, so many of them were there. And with their armies, hundreds and thousands of men there. And all of these men, they simply wanted to have one glance at Rukmini. Because it is said, Rukmini was one of the most beautiful women of her era. No one had ever seen her. And here was a chance for all these, men to have the first glance at Rukmini. And Rukmini, she was only searching for Krishna. Now imagine, there are all these powerful personalities standing there, and among them, she was searching for Krishna. She was searching for someone she had never seen. She was searching for someone she doesn't know how he looks. But somehow she felt, I will recognize Krishna the moment I see him. And her eyes were going all over to see if she can spot Krishna anywhere. And as her eyes were looking all over to spot Krishna somewhere, all those people were looking at Rukmini. And the moment they saw Rukmini, her beauty was so wonderful and so mesmerizing that all of them fell down unconscious. Somebody fell from an elephant, somebody fell from a horse, somebody fell from a chariot. All of these people falling unconscious just by seeing the beauty of Rukmini once. And in that one split moment, that Rukmini was very anxiously glancing, trying to find Krishna, and all of these people are falling off. Suddenly, in the corner of her eyes, Rukmini saw a fast moving chariot. Before she could understand it, somebody caught her hand, lifted her, put her on the chariot, and whisked her away. And that's when Rukmini understood, this is Krishna. She had never seen him. And here she was in his arms straight away. And in the meanwhile, all these guys are getting up. And when they got up, they saw Rukmini is missing. And that's when they realized a chariot has come and taken her away also. And all of these men, they began to become anxious. They got on the chariots, they got on the elephants, and they began to chase Krishna and Rukmini. This helps us understand the fifth thing that is required for us to connect with Krishna, which is composure. In spiritual life, you need to be composed. You need to have patience. When you make the right choice and you choose Krishna, challenges will come in your life. When you face the challenges and you show commitment in spite of all those challenges, that commitment is possible when you start connecting with the spiritual master, when you make connection with the Guru. And when you make connection with the Guru teaches you how to be patient, how to be composed. Composure is something that you learn from the spiritual master. As Rukmini Devi was looking all around, trying to find Krishna in that audience, suddenly Rukmini saw that Brahman standing in that crowd. While she was just glancing for Krishna, looking for Krishna, she saw that Brahman somewhere in the crowd. The moment she saw that Brahman in the crowd, she knew that he is gone to Dwaraka and come back. Probably Krishna will come. She just had that feeling. And the moment Krishna lifted her and took her away, the entire army of Shishupal and Jarasandha and Poundrak started following and chasing Krishna. And as Krishna was being chased by this massive army of Shishupal and all the others, Krishna was smiling. He had a beautiful smile on his face. Whenever you face problems in life, you must remember the smile of Krishna. No matter how much complicated the problem is, you will always find on Krishna's face a beautiful smile. That smile is the confidence that all of us need in our life. Krishna smiled because he knew every problem that comes in this world has a solution. I may not know the solution today. I may not have the solution right now, but the solution is there. Rukmini, when she saw Krishna smiling, she was completely bewildered. You know why? Because there were so many people chasing them. Arrows are flying in all directions. Imagine what a love story this is. First time the boy and girl are meeting together and arrows are flying between them. Rukmini was in so much anxiety. Her eyes were darting in all directions. And Rukmini, she didn't know what's going to happen at the end of this whole war. And as Rukmini was in anxiety, something fascinating happened. So Rukmini and Krishna's chariot is moving ahead. And behind them, this whole army of Shishupal and Dantavakra and all of these people are coming. And suddenly, between Krishna's chariot and the army of Shishupal, another army comes, headed by Balaram, the Yadava Sena, the Narayani Sena comes and intervenes. So now Balaram and the Narayani Sena are fighting with these people. And Krishna and Rukmini go away towards Dwarka. And as soon as Krishna and Rukmini go away towards Dwarka, and this army comes, Krishna turns towards Rukmini and makes his first statement to Rukmini. Imagine this. This is a love story in which the boy is speaking to the girl for the first time. Rukmini has expressed her heart. She has spoken so much through that letter. But Krishna has not told anything till now. In fact, she didn't even know whether Krishna is coming or not. Suddenly here, Krishna lifts her and takes her away, and then when the army comes in between, he makes a statement. And that one statement Krishna makes, the first statement Rukmini hears from Krishna's mouth, it touches her heart so much. You know what Krishna tells Rukmini? Krishna tells Rukmini, don't worry, your army will take care of the enemies. What does he say? Your army will take care of the enemies. Whose army is it? Krishna's army. It's a Yadava Sena. It's Narayana Sena. And here he is telling Rukmini, your army will take care of the enemies. That means they are officially not even married. So far, Krishna and Rukmini are not even officially married. He has not even told her, I'll marry you. But even before marrying her, he has transferred all property in her name. He is telling, your army will take care of the enemies. You know, for a girl who is leaving her family and going to somebody else's house, that's the anxiety that she has, isn't it? I'm going to someone else's house. I'm going to a stranger's house. I'm going to marry someone I don't know at all. I don't know what is going to happen there. How will I be treated over there? And look at what Krishna has done. The moment he talks to her, the first thing he gives an assurance that whatever is mine is yours. That's all. Rukmini decided, I made the right choice. All of us in our lives, we all have chosen Krishna. The moment we have all chosen Krishna, there are so many challenges that will come into our lives. I'm sure all of you all who are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra here, all of you all who are a part of ISKCON, who are a part of spiritual life, and you're trying to practice spirituality, there are so many challenges at so many levels coming in your life. But in spite of those challenges, you're showing commitment. And that commitment attracts a spiritual master into your life, attracts a guru, the connection with the spiritual master into your life. And through the connection to the spiritual master, you learn to be composed. A lot of people, when they take up the path of spirituality, they want results immediately. You know, many people come to me and they're chanting for 3-4 weeks and they come and tell me, Prabhuji, nothing is happening. I tell them what is supposed to happen. In 2-3 weeks of chanting, what will happen? You think a halo will come behind your head? What exactly do you expect? We all expect quick results. Because we are living in a world of 5G, we are living in a world of high-speed life, and we want quick results in everything, including spiritual life. And that's why so many of these Babas and Gurus are so famous, because they promise you quick results. Now, if you go to Bombay local trains, you will find these posters stuck on the local trains. And the posters say, they'll make a list of all problems in life. All the way from common cold, all the way to syphilis. And they say, all problems this Baba will solve for you. Call this number. And that's what people want when they come to the path of spirituality. Quick results, no patience. But the path of spirituality is a path of patience. Krishna will come. But there is no guarantee he will come at the speed at which you want. Rukmini Devi was waiting for Krishna here, and she knew Krishna will come. But till the last second, she couldn't see Krishna. Till the last moment, she didn't know if Krishna is coming or not. Till the last second, she had no idea whether she will find Krishna or no. In the path of spirituality, there is a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's no guarantee you will get results the speed at which you want. Just like if you want to call somebody in London or if you want to call to somebody in America, there's a different time zone, right? So you have to first find out what time zone they are in. And only when the time zone is conducive, the timing is conducive, you can make a call to them and they will lift the phone. But if you call at the wrong time and it's midnight, you don't expect them to lift the phone, right? Similarly, we want Krishna to come today. And Krishna says, I'll come in 1 minute. But the problem is, there's a big difference between our 1 minute and his 1 minute. His 1 minute might be 10 years for us. He will come. For sure he'll come. Certainly he'll come. But according to his time. What we need is composure to wait. Patience to wait till he comes. Certainly he'll come. There is no doubt that he will not come. He will come, but he will come at his speed. Spirituality is simply a combination of these 6 C's. We all have to make the right choice in life. The moment you choose to chant Krishna's names, the moment you decide, I'm going to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The moment you decide to chant the holy names of the Lord, you already made a choice. But the moment you start chanting, there will be a lot of challenges that will come in your life. Those challenges have to be met with commitment. If you show commitment, you will find a spiritual master, a connection, a guru, who will come and teach you how to be composed through all your calamities in life. When Krishna was born in Mathura, Vasudeva and Devaki, they were going through so much in their lives, isn't it? Vasudeva and Devaki were in a jail. And in the middle of such an intense experience, Krishna was born. Their hands were tied, their legs were tied. They were chained. They were inside a jail that was guarded by hundreds of guards. And at that time, Krishna tells Vasudeva, take me to Gokul. Now, Vasudeva could have asked Krishna, my hands are tied, my legs are tied, how do you expect me to take you to Gokul? Vasudeva did not ask all these questions. He simply had faith. Krishna is telling, I'll do it. He picked up Krishna in his hands. And the moment Vasudeva picked up Krishna, his chains broke. His chains that binded his leg opened up automatically. The doors of the prison cell opened up. All the guards that were standing there fell asleep. And Vasudeva got a smooth passage from Mathura to Gokul, guided by Krishna's arrangement. All of us, we simply have to pick up Krishna. What is the meaning of picking up Krishna in our lives? Now, obviously, we don't have Krishna that we can physically pick up like Vasudeva. Picking up Krishna means taking up the path of spirituality. The day we decide, I'm going to chant the holy names of the Lord. The day we decide, I'm going to read the Bhagavad Gita. The day we decide, I'm going to follow the path of spirituality. I'm going to try to understand Krishna. I'm going to attend the satsang. The day we make the choice, that's the day we pick up Krishna. And you know what? The moment you pick up Krishna, all your burdens, all your problems, all your challenges, all the difficulties that you face in your life automatically get solved. This Janmashtami, let us all very prayerfully decide to pick up Krishna in our lives. We all have the choice. As we walk out of these doors after this program is over, we all have a choice to go back and return back to our normal lives and completely forget about this lecture that you heard, completely forget about this experience that you have had, completely forget about this evening and continue living normal lives. But you also have a choice that before I walk out of that door, let me make a sankalpa. Let me make a decision to make spirituality an important part of my life. Let me make Krishna an important part of my life. Let me decide to take up spiritual life seriously and find a teacher who can help me walk this path. The choice is yours. And if you make the right choice, then certainly Krishna will come into your life. Thank you very much. And I wish all of you all the very best to make this choice in your life. Hare Krishna.